And last week what we started to do is we started to work with templates. We created a template. What we actually did is we took the next step. We went from the document that we had been working on in Dreamweaver, that we had changed the style and the look of it, and decided that we liked enough of the way that the layout looked that we could now decide that this is what we're going to use as our parent and build a bunch of child pages off of this template, right? Okay? And we know that the process for this, there needs to be one thing in a template, essentially for a template to be a template. And what is that one thing that a template needs? What's the one thing that makes a template a template? Or what is one thing that makes a template a template? Well, yes and no, because it's not necessarily separated from the content, but it's separated from the design because you don't have any control over it. The only thing you have control over is what? Is the content, exactly. So the one thing that every template has is what we refer to as a what do we call it? An editable region. Remember when we inserted an editable region? It's an editable region. That's what every individual template document has. That is the part of the page that we are able to, as it says, edit, meaning that we can add new content. Everything else is essentially locked, meaning we can't make a change. To the child pages, we will always be able to make changes to the template itself, or the what particular file extension does the template have? It does. Yeah, exactly. It's got a DWT file extension for a Dreamweaver template. And it's found in your templates folder. So if you open up your files window, and mine is open here, you can see that. Whoops, there we go. We have a templates folder. I open up my templates folder. I have a DWT file in there, and that DWT file is called master. Yes?
I don't have that.
You don't? Okay, make sure that once again we are in the same. Okay, were you here last week?
Yeah.
Okay, were you working in lesson 4 last week?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this for me really quick. Go to edit. Site, actually just site, manage sites. Because what might have happened, and click on your edit tool right there. And then here, let's folder up and let's take a look. Click on lesson 5. Click on lesson 6. There's no templates folder there at all. Is this the right? Can you show me this one over here? Lesson files, lesson files 2. How about that? Because there's a template folder in that one. That's what we're looking for. We give it a chance to create the cache. And now if we open it up. There you go. Perfect. Awesome. Wonderful. Okay, so we got this template, that DWT file. So essentially what we do is this. We have taken a regular HTML pre-formatted document, right? That's what we started with. We started with that pre-formatted document with the, I had a header, a footer, a left and a right, a side, content in the middle, right? We got rid of the right aside, and then we just have a navigation or a left aside. So that is actually our layout. We then made all the changes that we wanted to make to get the look and feel that we would so desire through CSS, correct? So we made all the changes through cascading style sheets, through a cascading style sheet. Okay, it was an internal cascading style sheet. And then what we did is we went one step further. We took that internal cascading style sheet that was all over the head tags, and we got rid of it. Right? Right? We cut it out and we externally attached it. So now, up at the very top, we can see that we have our source code, and then right next to it, you can see that we've got our first style.css, or a style sheet, whatever you ended up naming your style sheet, right? Correct? Okay? So once we did this, that was the second step. Second step is we externally, we make the changes that we want, we externally attach the cascading style sheet. So now the cascading style sheet is not only attached to this document, but will be attached to every document that we build off of this document, right? But the great news about that is that what ends up happening is that if we make any change to that style sheet, it is still projected across every page that we have. Okay, that's always going to happen, right? Okay, so after we did that, we selected that, and we made our individual style sheet, and we externally attached it. What we did next is then we said, okay, fine. Here is our document. Where in our document are we going to need to make changes? All right? Not on just one page, but possibly on every page. What is the one thing or one section on this page that is going to continually change? And that would be the editable region, or the middle section, which is right here, because that's where all our content is. Well, that's just not working at all. There we go, much better. Hold on for a second. But this is our editable region. Okay? Right there. So what we did is we did this. We fully understood and that the way that we had this document designed, that all the information that we were going to have to put in, or all the content that we were going to place into this individual website, was going to go into the middle section. Okay? So what we did is we came in and we selected that middle section with the full understanding that that middle section had a name. Okay, and that there was a divider container that was in there that we wanted to select. That particular container that was in there was called the div class content, correct? Correct? Was the content. So full well knowing that, we would select the tag selector down on the bottom left, and we would make sure that we got the whole entire container. So no matter how much information that we place in that middle section, the container, or excuse me, the content, that it would always expand for all of the information that was put in there, right? We selected it, okay, and we simply went up to Insert, Template Object, Editable Region. Okay? And here we insert, Template, Editable Region. And that put the editable region in there for us. Okay, we selected that, it asked us to name it, we named it, gave it the name of main content. We took a look at it, we realized that once again we're just working with more HTML block code. There's an opening block code, there's a closing block code. We can change and remove them, we can change and remove them. But this gives us the ability to put different information into this particular document, okay? or children or child documents off of that. Right? So once that was done, this is essentially all we needed to do. Even if we're doing this for the first time, as soon as you put in an editable region into a regular HTML page, it will automatically prompt you saying, ooh, you should put an editable region in this. Okay, so now we're going to save it as a template file. Because to have an editable region in it, it has to be a template file. All right, so once we did that, we were all set. Good to go. Okay, so some of us just hit Command S and saved it as a template. Some of us came over here to File and saved as template. It asked us to save this as a template, asked us to give it a name. All right, I named mine as master, master.dwt. That's the file that I have open right now. Okay, all right. So once that was done, we learned that if we wanted to, I want to create a brand new document right now off of this particular master. All right, I want a brand new page, and you're going to do this because we need a new page for tonight. So we're going to have a new page. We're going to have a new page for tonight. Okay. So what I want is instructions. How do I create a new document off of the template that I have right here? What steps do I need to follow? What's the first thing I need to do if I want to create a new page off of this template? All right. We'll go File New. Yep. Okay. Now, when we get here, we can see that this is our new document window. Off our new document window, we got a bunch of different places to go. Which way are we going to go? What do we want? What's the next step from here? Site templates, exactly. So if we select site templates on the left-hand side, this will list all the templates that we have in our particular site that we're working on. Site 8, that's fine, and that's the master. So there you go. So that's the page that we want. So once that's done, we can just hit create. And there you go. Okay, yes? Okay, site templates. Okay, you don't have, yep, there's no, let's hit cancel here for me, please. And let's go over to site and let's set your site up for me. Yeah, new site, perfect. Yeah, whatever you'd like to call it. And direct that to where your files are on your jump drive for me, please. On your jump drive. There you go. Okay. There you go. Perfect. Keep it up. Save it. Refresh over here. Good. Okay. And we close this out. Close this one. Close this file out that you have open. Yeah. Close that. Yeah. Okay. Go to Window Files up at the top. There you go. And now click on templates right there. And there's your master template. So now you're good. Okay, so now repeat the steps. Go for File, New. There you go. Now if you go down to site templates, there you have it. Okay. Yes, sir. Okay. You might not have one. Go to site templates. On the, oh no, you have to go to window. You got the site templates right there. Yeah, okay, so cancel the site, manage sites. Okay, go to site, new site. And okay, and then just direct this to lesson 4. There you go. Yep, there we go. Choose good. Okay, so now try the process. well, yeah, all we gotta do is, what I want to do is one simple thing. Here, change this right there. It's gonna match the tab. Okay, all right. Okay, so as I said, very important that we have the site path set up properly, because if you were to go through these steps and you did not see a template because the site was not set up and it was looking for the templates folder and it did not see the templates folder. So hence, if it doesn't see the templates folder, then it can't see the master.bwt that resides in that particular folder. Okay? All right, good. So once that's created, which it is now, we have a brand new HTML document. Okay? Now, this brand new HTML document is ready to be edited or amended or put, text in whatever you want. All you have to do is just hit, what I would do first is save it. So I'll hit Command S. And when it asks you to save this file, you can give it whatever name that you want. Okay, tonight what we're going to use this file for is we're going to work with inserting content and different types of content. Okay, that's what we will be using this particular file for. So I'm just going to name it content.html for the time being as we enter in different types of content. All right, so we'll name it content.html and we'll save it. Now, one of the things I want you to notice, guys, is this. You'll notice that the middle section, right, every time we create a new page is constantly populated, right? I mean, there's information, okay? And that's simply because the template itself has that information in it. If you were to go back and take a look at your master template has this information in it. So essentially what I'm saying is this. At some point in time, this particular information that you see right here is going to have to be deleted, right? Whether you do it when you create a new page and then put new information in, or whether you come back to your template right now and delete it, which is fine, okay? Like you get rid of all this information because you don't need it anymore. Or you could just do it page by page. But just keep in mind that every time you create a new document or off of this particular master page, all of this information will be on that document. It takes 5 seconds to delete it either way. You decide on whatever it is. It's not 6 on one, half a dozen on the other. Whether or not you want to delete it right here or whether you want to delete it when you create new documents. The most important thing to remember is this, though. When you do delete it, you must make sure that you do not delete the container around it. Okay? Do not delete the content container, the div tag, which tends to happen a lot of times when you start deleting stuff. That's why I would suggest we just delete the actual text. But it's really important that we just remember that we do not delete that, because that will throw out a lot of different stuff and give us a lot of problems with probably what we like to refer to as there'll be uneven tags, open tags and closed tags for those. So, but you can see that each one of these is built into a section. Okay, each one of these is a section. If you take a look at that. So meaning that each one can be used for different pieces of information. Alright? So you can keep the sections and just delete the text. Very easy to put in a new section, not very difficult. We work on that as we go forward right now. Okay? Alright. So when this is done, as always, we hit, we made a change to the Dreamweaver template. We hit Command S. All right, and then we get you have changed the template. Do you want to update all the documents in your local site that use this template? And we always say yes, correct? So anytime we make a change to the template whatsoever, we get the asterisk up above. Remember, we still have asterisks up above. As soon as we get that asterisk and we make the save, it's going to ask us, do you want to update? We always say yes, because we have multiple documents that have been set and that have been built off of this particular document. So we must save them. Okay, so we'll say yes, save it, and then close it. Okay, so there you go. All right? So that's what happens when we make a change to the template file itself. Okay? One of the questions that we discussed was, okay, fine, so HTML-wise, if I want to make a change to one of my child pages, right? If I want to change something on one of my child pages, if I want to change the way the child pages look, I have to change the template, right? Everybody remember that, right? Okay? So I have to go back and I have to open up the template, master.dwt, and I have to make the change that way, right? Like, for instance, across the top I've got a navigation bar, okay? It says home, it says bio, it says contact, or something to that effect, right? I want to change bio to profile. If I change bio to profile, and that's what I want to do, I have to go back and I have to do what? I have to access the template. Because the template's what controls that, because it's outside the realm of the editable region, right? Editable region is only the middle section where the content is, on all documents except for the master. I've got 15 pages that I've built off of this particular master page. I've got 15 children, okay? Every one of them looks the same, right? All those pages look the same. I've noticed that all of a sudden bio is bio, and I don't want it to be bio, I want it to be profile. So instead of it saying home, bio, contact us, I want it to be home, profile, contact us. So for me to make that change, I have to come back to the master, right here, master DWT, and make the change from there. Because if I make the change from there, when I save it, Dreamweaver is going to tell me what? What's it going to say? Yeah, it's going to ask you if you want to update all other pages that are built off of this template, and the answer is yes. Okay? So, we want to make a change across the board. We make it to the Dreamweaver template file. It will change all documents that are attached to it, okay, or built off of it. But, on the other side of that, at any point in time, if I wanted to change the way, not the wording, or not where the link is going, but if I wanted to change the look of the link, okay, what would I access? All right, so I've changed it, and it no longer says, and use your imagination for this because I didn't change it physically. It now says home, profile, contact us. That's what mine said, right? And when we hover over it in live view, I'll look at it in live view here, guys. And when we look at it in live view, you can see that my home turns red, right? Everybody sees that? You can see that it turns red. I know you can see it very well, but it does. Okay, yours changes the color also. Okay? Now, I don't like the red. I want to change to blue. Okay? Everybody understand that? So I don't want that to be red. I would like it to be blue. So for that to happen, what now do I need to access? Exactly. So where I'm starting is I don't necessarily, what I'm really accessing is I'm accessing the style sheet. Because the style sheet controls the way that looks. So I don't have to go back to the template itself, to the master, right? I can just go to the style sheet or any document, right? Because if we take a look at all these other documents, the style sheet is attached to any one of them, and or all of them, right? So I can access the style sheet to make the change that I want. So I don't have to do that through the template, because as soon as we take it and externally attach it, it's a standalone file. It's all by itself, right? All other pages, okay, rely on it, but it's off on its own. It stands by itself. So it doesn't matter whether, it doesn't matter if I'm on my template page, it doesn't matter the parent page, the child page, or whatever, because I'm not really accessing that. What I am is I'm accessing the style sheet. All right, so once we got that far, we got to the style sheet, we're in our designer. Okay? We were to be window CSS designer. And once we're in our CSS designer and our first class first_style.css comes up, what of the pseudo selectors, or which individual rule would it be that we would go ahead and want to change? Anybody know? Exactly. I heard it there somewhere. Which one, and we got a few of them, which one are we working on? Which one what do we want? Give me the whole individual rule. Or the whole individual selector, I'm sorry, I said rule, not selector. Give me the whole individual selector that we would want to change that rollover from red to blue.
It's the horizontal map, hover, horizontal map, active, and focus.
All right, there we go. Exactly. So we click on it, which we've done right here. I have my show set selected, so it automatically shows me the rules or properties that are in play. You can see my color red. If I was to click on it, I'm just going to change the color to blue. Color's changed. I'll Command S and save it. And now, when I once again live view it and take a look, you can see that it is no longer red, it's now blue. Okay? So being the fact that we wanted to change a related file, which essentially is what the CSS is. It's a standalone related file. We do not need to access the actual Dreamweaver template. We can just change that rule itself, and it will automatically change any page that it is connected or related to. All right? In theory. Make sure you save it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Select it. You got a light to it, yeah. 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 No, I just changed the text. Yeah, I just changed the text. Yeah, unclick show set, and go to text. And your text color is undefined. So change it to any, change it to something or any time. That's going to be a different. Okay. Okay. Just put that. All right. So now, and that's it up. Okay. So we did. So we took a look at that. All right. Awesome. 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 The last thing that we worked with is we came in and we said, hey, okay, let's just say by chance it changed. There you go. Change that background. That's the background. Okay. And you can't see what that little text is changing. Okay, all right. The last thing we discussed is this, is that let's just say by chance, I'm going to click out of live view here, if I can. Okay, let's just say by chance we have a document that's created. Okay, we have a document that's created, and we created it off of the individual master template that we have. But this is we're going to call it like this is a one-off. All right, this page is a one-off. Basically, meaning we got to do a couple of things to this page, but it's only this page and no other pages around. That's all it is. Okay. So, and it's a couple of small changes, but a couple of those small changes are in an area that's locked. Okay, right? Remember we briefly discussed this? So we had a document like this. Here's content.html. And we needed to make a change. All right? And the change we needed to make, say just by chance, is down the left-hand side here where this text is the above lines demonstrated basic navigation structure, blah, 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 or unorthodox in CSS, right? But it's a one-off. This is the only page where we have to make this change, okay? That being said, we can do one of two things. We could go back into the master, and we could make this an editable region, okay? But then that would make all others editable regions, which is not necessarily a bad thing. That's all right. The other thing that we have the ability to do is we do have the ability to take this particular document and do what? Anybody remember the last thing that we did in class? We did. That's exactly what we did. But what do we call it instead of removing a template? No. We call it, we actually did remove the template. But what we did is we actually detached this page from the template. And by detaching this page from the template, all we've done is this. All we do when we detach the page from the template is we strip out the editable region instance code. That's it. We get rid of that. Okay? So we have the ability to make this just a regular HTML page. Right? Okay? Fully functional. Put our cursor anywhere, make whatever changes we want. And we did that by detaching from template. Where do we find detach from template? Modify. Modify. I think if you go to modify there, I think down there you see a little thing that says templates. Modify templates. So that's what you're doing. You're modifying this template. Because right now this is a template. All right? And then you can go apply template to page, or, oh, there you go. Detach from template. And when we detach this from the template, it becomes another fully functional HTML page where we can move our cursor wherever it is that we like. Okay? And then we're all set and ready to go. So that's what we covered working with templates last week. Pretty straightforward. It's, to be completely honest, very powerful, wonderful tool to have because it gives you the ability to build the look and the feel of your individual page or website, okay? And then be able to build multiple documents off of that, keeping the look and the feel and creating a flow and a tone through the whole thing, not only in your look, feel, but also with doing your content. All right? And it just makes everything much more efficient. Right? And that's what we're all about. We're all about getting the most for the least. Right? We want the best in that, we look at it. makes it truly more efficient. Yes, young man. Question? Yeah, that. Okay. Let's put that alignment here. You're good. And then save your style sheet. You got your asterisk right there. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, as I said, the easiest way to do is just go to File and Save All. Then you don't have to really about because then any file that you have there is will be good, and you're fine. Because now we've got your content. That's good. Everything's good here. Yeah, you're all set. You're good, good, good. Because now what we're going to do is we're going to start working on pulling in actual content. Because once you get the look, the feel, and the design, and everything down for your individual document, now you have to go get what we refer to as the important stuff. And what's the important stuff? Your content. Okay? How are we going to get our content in there? We've got a ton of content that we need to get put into our individual documents. So we need to learn how to do that. Okay? Now, content comes in many different ways. Right? You have a bunch of different content. You can have, and there's a lot of different ways to go about and do it. One of the things you can do is you can just start, putting your cursor inside there and just start typing. There's no problem with that whatsoever. Okay? And then the more you type, your content will just continually expand and expand. Now, a couple of things I will tell you about content as we talk about this, because content's a funny thing. Just by chance, if anybody is doing this in this class for somebody else, right? Just say it's a friend wants to know, hey, I told them I was taking this class, and they want me to build them a website or something along the lines, which is awesome, which is great. One of the things that you always want to remember when working with content are two words, okay? And two words are web ready. So when I say web ready content, that generally means that whether it be text, images, video files, whatever you have is literally ready to go directly to the web. Okay? Electronic ready is another really good term to use, but a lot of people don't necessarily understand what electronic ready means. Essentially, electronic ready for a lot of years meant, hey, how about handing me that in a Word file than, hey, handing me that as a piece of paper? You know what I mean? Because I've worked with a bunch of different people who literally have come in and just dropped off pamphlets and paper. And then you go, okay, fine, so you're going to pay me to type? Is that really what you want to do? Because you could give this to me in web ready, in a Word document where all I'm going to do is my two favorite things in the world, which are what? Cut and paste. Yeah, either or. All right? Or I can physically sit here and fumble through my typing and have a whole bunch of misspelled words and all that good stuff. So, electronic ready or web ready is really good. Those are really good things to have. Because let me tell you what ends up happening. And here's the other issue. God. In an ideal world, everybody who gives us something that we are going to take and put to the web is going to come from one program and one program only. Right? And do you know what that program is? Anybody want to fathom a guess? I'm talking I'm just talking text. Right? All the words that we use. What would we prefer that to come from? Notepad. There we go. That's it. You prefer it to come from Notepad. If somebody has it in Notepad. Now, it's not as important as it has been in the past because all these programs now can come in here. Well, this is what a lot of people don't understand, right? We all use Microsoft Word. We all love Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word is wonderful. Microsoft Word has embedded code inside of it, right, to help make things look the way you want them to look when it prints. That can translate to the web, okay? So, now, years ago, it used to be a bigger problem than it is now, because now almost all of these programs have the ability to strip out the Microsoft Word code, okay, which is awesome. But this program even goes one step further, and it has what we have a cut and a paste, and then we have something that's called paste special. And paste special basically says this. Here's what we will do. We will keep whatever it is that you would like from Microsoft Word. Meaning that whether it's paragraph breaks, whether it's headings, whether it's unordered list structure, whatever that would be, we can keep that, or we don't have to, we can just get raw data. Okay? Because sometimes the raw data is what we want. Because here's the thing, Microsoft Office uses code, right? Microsoft Word uses code. All of that code is what? What kind of code is it? We know, but what is it? It's actually inline code, right? So, I got a style sheet. So I got an external style sheet, and then I got inline code. What's going to show? The inline code, because it's closer. We don't like that. That's why we like to strip everything out and just have the raw tags or the raw data. Okay? Because then we can style it however we want. Give it the proper tag, and it'll look just like everything else on our page, because it'll fall right in line with the CSS. Alright? Okay. So we're going to continue to work in lesson 4 that we have up right now. But the information that we are going to be gathering or using is going to come out of lesson 7. Okay? So we may have to jump back and forth so we can see some of these files, but that's all right. You guys are all real good. You'll be able to do it. Not a problem. Okay? Because what we're going to do is we're going to work with a bunch of different files. We're going to take a look at some different stuff. We're going to figure some stuff out. Okay? And we're going to learn to start styling and creating some text. We're going to create some text right off the bat. Alright? Now we just basically worked on, or we just basically spoke about importing text and how to gather some text. So what I'd like you to do is I would like you to we're going to insert some text, and the text we're going to insert is going to go inside this first particular section that we have set up here where it says how to use this document. The text that we're going to want is going to come out of lesson 7. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go to your Finder, open up your Finder window. From your Finder window, let's get to your jump drive. From your jump drive, we'll open up the lesson files. From the lesson files, we are going to open up lesson 7. And which one are we opening up first? Which one should we open up first? What did it say? Who should we open up there? Okay, and from lesson 7, from your resources, open up your resources folder. You should have a folder called resources, right? And from your resources folder, double click on greennews.rtf. Okay? And when you click on greennews.rtf, it should open up this particular file, and it should open it up in essentially what we refer to as the OSX text edit, which is essentially very, very similar to Notepad. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yep. Go to your Finder window, right? A little smiley face down the bottom. There. A little smiley face right there. Yeah. There you go. And to your jump drive. There you go. And to your lesson 7. And from lesson 7 into the resources folder. And from the resource folder, greennews.rtf. Yes, sir.
You got skip. Move that like
Oh, yeah, that guy. Oh, I didn't know Tom if he could do it. Can you get up there? I don't know how tightly those things are in there. Oh, there you go. Good. Way to go. Awesome. Yeah, because there was no way I was going. That's a big hill for a climber like myself. Okay, so greennews.rtf opens up, right? You can see that we have all this individual text here. Good? Good, good, good. Okay, everybody love that? Okay, there's actually a fair amount of text that's here. Okay, so if we want to copy and paste this, what do? What's the first thing we do?
Highlight all this.
Yep. So we're going to select all, so what do we have to hit?
Command A.
Command A. That's going to take all the text, and then after we hit Command A, we hit
Command C.
Command C. And then we're going to take it back in here. And make sure you don't post it. Actually, all right, start at the top and hit Command V. All right, and then you hit Command V, paste it in there. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. No, just hit, you can highlight it and just put it in right over the top of it.
You want to see the page that we made?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, any page is fine. We made a page called content, and that's where mine is right now. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, Command A. Just hit Command A. That will automatically select it off the top there. And Command C, copy. For our wonderful keyboard shortcuts. And then just come in, highlight the text in the first section, and hit Command V. And it'll automatically paste all that information right over the top of it. Alright? Good. So there you go. So there's a whole bunch of information that we've put in there. Right? Okay. So here's what I want you to do. Okay, so let's take a look at code view for me, please. Split view for me. Okay, and when we split view, if you split view for me, you will notice that we have paragraph tags separating everything across the board. Do we not? Okay, so everything's been put in its own brand new paragraph. Okay, so that's pretty good. So,
copying and pasting it from Notepad, it already takes the format automatically.
well, it was the way that it was actually put in, but yes, because what ends up happening is, if you'll notice when you take a look at the notepad, or the text edit that we were working in, there were already individual paragraph breaks that were in place, were there not?
Yeah.
So it just went and put each one back in place there. So yes. Okay? And because of the fact it says the now you'll notice that it did not take any of the individual heading codes. So if we have heading codes there, you'll notice that there's nothing that is in place. So if you were to take a look at the heading 1, the heading 2, heading 3, heading 4 across the board, like where it says green buildings can earn more green. Can you see that? It's just a straight paragraph. Okay? It is not a heading 2 or anything along those lines. What we would like to do is go in and to change those for what we would like. And what let's do that. Let's put in I don't want to do heading 1 because we got the heading 1. Oh, actually, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. See where it says instructions? Yeah, that's the heading 1 tag. And where it says instructions, that heading 1 tag should be green news. There you go, and that makes that one heading 1. So up at the very, very top, where it says instructions, that should be green news. Then what we'll do is we're going to take all the other individual subheadings that we have, such as green buildings earn more green, shopping green saves energy, so forth and so on. We're going to take those and we're going to make those heading 2s. So we're going to click in each one of those. And from our properties inspector, change those from paragraph to heading 2 tags. You don't even actually have to highlight the text itself. You can just put your cursor inside of there. It'll automatically, from your properties inspector, recognize that it's a paragraph tag. And we're going to change to a heading 2 tag. And there you go. So now you have all those heading 2 tags across the board. Yep, okay, so I know you're good there, so click off of there, because what we want is we just want the, okay, so you've got like green buildings and more green. Just put your cursor inside. You don't even have to highlight. You just put your cursor anywhere inside of that line. There you go. It's anywhere inside. Just click inside the word buildings. There you go. And from your properties inspector, you can see that the paragraph tag is set there. So if we now just select heading 2, it'll turn that whole entire line of code, or that whole, remember we're working with what? Working with block code, right? So if you've got an opening paragraph tag, a closing paragraph tag, and I put my cursor somewhere inside of there, and I change that tag, it's going to change the opening tag and the closing tag. Yes?
When I transferred mine over, it just did this.
It just did one. It didn't do any of that.
No.
Well, it did.
I put these there.
You put,
I put those manually there.
Oh, did you?
It was all just like,
yeah. Where did you get
it's
it?
over here. It's in the notepad. I brought it up and put, because yeah, it would automatically do the paragraphs.
Copy and paste it.
And just paste it.
Yep, scroll down. Yep, that's good. Drop down. Now, you highlight all of this text right there. Not draw that one right here. Yep. And then paste it back in. Yeah, I don't, it should have taken. That's all I was pointing at. It should. Yeah,
Yeah.
You're fine. You're good. You're good.
Something.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of the interesting things about this class is if I can't see exactly what, you did as you're doing it, then I don't know exactly what was done, how necessarily to fix it. Okay? All right, so there you go. So now we change these to individual heading 2 tags. Okay? And you're all set. You got information there. Now, one of the things that we may do is let's do this. Have we gone in at any point in time? Let's find out. Let's find out. Well, we changed the heading 1. That's what we've done. That's what we've done. Do. Hold on one second. Yeah, that's what we did. All right. Here's what I want to do next. Okay? Next thing is I've got, as you can see, my heading 1. My heading 1 is really small. I want to make my heading 2, kind of equally as small, I guess. Right? So just kind of match that. But you see my heading 2 is too big. So I just want to make my heading 2 smaller, and I want to make it green. Okay? So my heading 2, I want to make it smaller and green. But here's my thing. I don't, okay, let's ask some question. Do I want to make all my heading 2s smaller and green? Yeah, that's where, exactly, it would be everywhere, that's what I'm asking. Or do we not want to? I mean, you tell me which way we want to go about this. We just want to do it for this document alone? Or do we want to do it for all documents? Let's just do it for this document. Alright? That sound good? So, there you go, you broke it right. Nice. Awesome. That's it. Let's just go on the page. Alright. here we go. So we're going to make all of these just on this page, right? A particular size and a particular color. I wanted to do that and not make them a particular size and a particular color across the whole entire website. What's the best way to do this? Theory question, theory question.
You're changing the source code, like the page and first style.
Well, that's an interesting way to do it. We could do it that way. You really could. I've not looked at it that way. Very, very good. I was looking at it a different way. Let's say by chance that I don't want them on all my pages, but I might. I might want. That's not an entirely wrong answer. That's a good answer.
You could create a new heading, make it something else, and then one.
Well, yeah. Okay. So
Heading 1.5.
what I would do is that's an excellent way to go about it also. Well, essentially what you are doing is you're setting up what we refer to as a class. Okay? We're going to create something that's going to be called a class. A class is one of the four different types of that we can create in CSS. So if we were to come here, open up your CSS designer window. But first of all, here's and this really actually doesn't even matter. So first of all, in your window, go to your CSS designer. And when your CSS designer window is open, make sure that you have firststyle.css selected, right? Because that firststyle.css is your individual web, it's your CSS style sheet for this website. And where it says selectors, we are going to come up to the plus sign, and we're going to hit the plus sign. Okay? When you hit the plus sign, it will automatically populate the window with wherever your actual, pretty much wherever your cursor is. Right? My cursor just happened to be container content section heading 2. Right? Yours will be wherever it is. It doesn't matter where your cursor is. And the reason why it doesn't matter where your cursor is because we're going to create a class which is going to have no effect on where your cursor is right now. So it doesn't matter. Right? So what I want you to do is I want you to delete everything that is in whatever that window is that you have. Okay, so I want a blank window. So when you're in your designer, when you're in your CSS designer, you create a brand new selector, you should have a window open up down at the bottom. And when that window opens up, I want to see it completely blank. Okay? Everybody good? All right. And here's what I want you to do now. Okay? What I want you to do now is I want you to type in period green. Okay? If you'll notice, as you look up and down, you'll see that you have a hashtag or a period. Period basically is your class. Okay, that specifies that this is going to be a class applied to something. And as we spoke before, the hashtag signifies that it's going to be applied to an ID. That's an ID. So here we go. So we've got period green. Now let's just click over on the right-hand side under properties. And let's make the adjustments that we need to make to have this look the way that we would like. Okay? So this is basically just going to be applied to the text and the text itself. So I'm going to click on my T for my text. And when I click on my T for my text, the first property I'm going to set is my color. And my color is going to be 090, which is going to give me a shade of green. Okay? And then the only other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the, let's go to font size. And let's make the font size. Let me click off of that. Sorry, we got the green. Let's come down to font size, and font size, let's make that 1.1 EMs. 1.1 EM. So choose the measurement, unit of measurement EM, and make it 1.1 EM. All right? Click off of there somewhere. Okay? And when that is done, awesome possum. We'll save that particular, we'll go save all, save that style sheet so that change and that new rule has been applied. Okay, so meaning that it's now been added to the style sheet, so that new rule has now been added to the style sheet. Yes, sir. Yep. Put your hashtag. You need a hashtag. Okay. Yeah, there you go. That signifies that it's a hexadecimal color. There you go. Okay. Okay, so now after we've done that, what do you got? So now what do your heading 2s look like? They look exactly the same and they haven't changed. Why do they look exactly the same and they haven't changed? Because we haven't changed them. That's exactly right. Because what we're working with is called a class. A class has to be applied. Okay? So let's do this. Everybody take your cursor, put it in the middle of green buildings, earn more green. Okay? And when you put your cursor in the middle of green buildings, earn more green, I would then like you to pull up your properties window. And when you pull up your properties window, on your properties inspector, you'll see there that you've got the format heading 2, ID none, and then right next to it you've got a word called class. That class applies right now as content. You see that? Hit that drop down where it says class. Class. Underneath that, if you hit that drop down, you should see a word. What's that word? You should see the word green. Click and apply that. And then there you go. There is your individual green buildings. Earn more green. Okay? Now, what I want to show you is this. If you now take a look at my individual document that I have up here, guys, really quick, you can see and look at your own where your H2 is. Your H2 is now H2 class is equal to green. So that particular heading 2 and only that particular heading 2 will be green. So only the ones that you apply this to, this particular class, will it have the effect. Okay? So if we had multiple ways, yeah, what do we got? Do this for me, go to my styles real quick. Scroll all the way down, let's see if we got that one somewhere. Alright. Okay, yeah, put on that one there, green, yeah, good. Font size 0. There you go. See the font size there? Yeah, put your cursor right in there. Yeah, change that to 1.1. Yeah, change to 1.1. Yeah, over change the value. Okay, and then change that dx to en. En. Okay, so now, well, you got to put your, yeah, so there's where you're going to put your cursor inside of the heading 2 somewhere. Just put it in there, right there, and now go down there, and now select it. There you go, now select green, and there you go. Okay, awesome. Yes, how are we doing?
I don't know how we would make the single color.
Okay, give you 1 second, we're going to take a break, and I'll help you on the break here in just a second. So what I want to show you, just as you can see right here, you can see that's H2 class equals green. Okay? It's what we refer to as a span class. Span class basically means that the class is going to affect over the span of the actual tag, heading 2 to heading 2. It gives us the option of being able to change individual heading tags, or tags themselves, without changing them all across the board. Now, I could have very easily went in and set this to just a content, dot content H2 tag, right? Very similar to, if we take a look here, just bear with me for one moment. If we take a look at my first class styles, you can see that we've got this. Remember when we set this one right here, guys? Content heading, class content heading 1 tag. That changed the heading ones for any time I have any kind of heading 1, that's what the heading 1 is going to look like. I could do the same thing for the heading 2 for this particular document, but it would be across the board, across the whole site. So if I didn't want to do that, which just for the whole basis of the exercise, I didn't want to do it. Normally, I would. I'd make all my heading 2s look identical. All right? Then I would make that change. But just for the exercise, I turned it into a span class, which can be applied throughout individually. But that's how I would do it. I would do the exact same thing. I would do class content heading 2 by taking my cursor, clicking inside the heading 2 tag, and creating the new compound selector, right? Does everybody understand how we did that before? Remember how we did that? We're gonna do it here again in a second on something else. But all right, good. Okay, why don't you guys take like 5-6 minutes, take a little break. I'll stop this, restart it, and then we'll take